Could the U.S. Air Force's hypersonic missile, ARRW, reshape modern warfare in minutes? Tell me in the comments, what do you think? The AGM-183A ARRW, or Air-Launched Rapid Response Weapon, is America's high-speed, boost-glide hypersonic missile developed by Lockheed Martin for the U.S. Air Force. The concept is simple but powerful. A rocket booster propels the vehicle to hypersonic speeds above Mach 5. Then the glide vehicle separates and flies unpowered toward its target, maneuvering as it goes. The ARRW program traces its roots to DARPA's Tactical Boost Glide project. Lockheed Martin was awarded the contract back in 2018, and by 2019, captive carry test flights had begun, carried aboard a B-52 Stratofortress. In 2022, the program saw a breakthrough. In May, the ARRW separated from the B-52 and fired its booster. And in July, a second successful test confirmed that the glide vehicle could reach hypersonic speed. Following that, in December 2022, the first all-up round live-fire test was completed. The missile flew its planned trajectory and impacted its intended target. However, the path was not without trouble. In 2023, one test suffered from a shroud separation failure, invalidating some of the performance data. Despite the setbacks, another test that year succeeded fully, with proper release, boost, glide, and detonation over water. In March 2024, the Air Force carried out what it described as the final all-up round test, a live-fire launch from a B-52 out of Guam, targeting the Reagan test site in the Marshall Islands. A 2 Aviation Week later reported that post-test analysis showed the missile met many of its design goals. Despite the test successes, in March 2023, the Air Force announced it would not go ahead with procurement of the ARRW, effectively shelving full-scale production. Key factors behind this decision included a string of test failures, technical risk, and budget pressures. Critics, like the Director of Operational Test and Evaluation, have argued the program skipped critical steps in planning and testing, raising concerns about its long-term operational viability. Yet the story doesn't end there. In 2025, Air Force leadership reversed course, with Chief of Staff General Alvin announcing plans to revive ARRW acquisition. This aligns with a broader hypersonic strategy. Alongside ARRW, the Air Force is pursuing a second system called the Hypersonic Attack Cruise Missile, or HACM. Hypersonic weapons like ARRW are considered game changers. Because of their blistering speed and maneuverability, they are much harder to detect or intercept using existing missile defense systems. That gives commanders a potent tool to strike time-sensitive, high-value targets, such as command centers, air defense sites, or strategic infrastructure, with very little warning time for the adversary. In a global context, ARRW is also a signal. The U.S. is facing growing hypersonic threats from China and Russia, both of whom are heavily investing in their own capabilities. By keeping ARRW alive, the Air Force may be prioritizing long-range deterrence and flexibility in its strike posture. The ARRW program has drawn significant scrutiny over its testing regime. The DOTE report highlighted a lack of an approved integrated test plan, limited modeling and simulation, and potential vulnerabilities to cyber disruption. Early flight failures, including booster ignition issues and separation errors, raised serious reliability concerns. Some analysts question whether ARRW, even if revived, can prove its lethal effectiveness against real-world targets, especially given the limited number of tests and the high-risk nature of its mission. Budget-wise, each ARRW missile is estimated to cost between $15 and $18 million. The FY 2026 budget request could be a turning point. If ARRW revival funding is approved, the Air Force may begin limited production. Meanwhile, ARRW's legacy isn't just in the missile itself. Data gathered from its test flights is likely to feed into future hypersonic programs, whether that's HACM or even more advanced systems. Engineers and program managers will also be working to translate lessons learned, especially around materials that can survive hypersonic heating, reliable guidance systems, and safe separation or release mechanisms. R represents the frontier of military innovation. Hypersonic, boost glide, super fast. With China and Russia also racing in hypersonics, this is about global power and deterrence. The program has had major wins and failures. Whether it makes a comeback could reshape U.S. strike capabilities. If it becomes operational, this missile could change how the U.S. responds to global threats: fast, precise, and surprisingly stealthy. The AGM-183A ARRW is more than just a missile. It's a bet on the future of warfare. After a rocky development path, a near cancellation, and some bold testing, it could be on the verge of a comeback. Whether or not it becomes operational will depend on budget decisions, technical maturity, and how much weight the Air Force places on hypersonic weapons in its long-term vision.